Good evening and welcome back to the Shadows of Drakkenheim. This is the Dungeon Dudes weekly Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition live stream campaign. And my name is Monty Martin, running our campaign as Dungeon Master.
And I'm Kelly McLaughlin, playing Wilhelm Wolfsbane, the human swashbuckler. And we're joined today by our good friends.
Jill Denitis playing Rudy Whitaker, the Shifter Eldritch Knight.
And Joe O'Gorman playing Wrath, Yasimar Warlock.
Thank you for joining us once again. If you are just tuning in for the very first time, it has been a big break. For those of you that might be watching the show through a for those of you who might be watching the show further down the line, we have been on hiatus for several months now, about 4 months since the end of 2020, and we're here. We're still in lockdown, still playing D&D remotely, but we had a little bit of a break so that Jill could start leveling up her new level 1 human.
It's going great so far.
Awesome.
Oh, fantastic. So we had a wonderful hiatus where we played lots of awesome games in our Untold Tales series with some guests and friends, but we are back in the saddle to play Shadows of Drakkenheim properly. If you haven't caught up on the series before or don't know what else we do, Kelly and I post new videos every other Tuesday and every Thursday on our YouTube channel, where we cover everything Dungeons & Dragons, including advice for players and guides for Dungeon Masters. So you can check us out at youtube.com/dungeondudes.
You can also join us live on Tuesday nights when we record the campaign live on Twitch. You can check us out from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Time at twitch.tv/dungeon_dudes. You can also watch the video episodes of the show on YouTube. And if you would rather listen to the campaign, Season 1 and Season 2 are available as a audio-only podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Spotify.
We are very excited as well to announce that Dungeons of Drakkenheim is coming to Kickstarter this June. You can head on over to Drakkenheim.com to sign up for our mailing list for the latest updates. Kelly and I are hard at work writing out the complete Drakkenheim campaign as a book that you will be able to back on Kickstarter and get in your hands to run your very own Drakkenheim campaigns. You'll be able to explore the madness, the mystery, the mayhem, and you can decide the fate of Drakkenheim with your player characters. We are so excited to be sharing this amazingly open-ended campaign with you. If you have watched our show and you have been inspired by our world and been like, what does it take to run an open-ended campaign where the players drive the narrative? Well, you can pick up our book. It's going to be coming to Kickstarter later this June, so head on over to Drakkenheim.com. We're partnering with our amazing friends at Ghostfire Games to bring this whole thing to life. And hopefully by the time the book gets in your hands, there won't be some major spoilers. With that, though, shall we return to the shadows?
Drakkenheim is no more. For 15 years, we foolishly believed the madness and mayhem of that crumbling city was confined to the ruins. We were wrong. Insidious horrors have crept out of the shadow of Drakkenheim into a world unprepared for such nightmares. Tales of strange magic, swirling haze, and unspeakable terrors echo through the villages and towns surrounding that accursed place. Now, the Dusk Wardens, a new band of heroes, are tasked with driving out the seeping tendrils of the spreading darkness before it takes root.
Welcome back to the Shadows of Drakkenheim. When last we left our heroes, Rudy Whitaker, Wilhelm Wolfsbane, and Wrath, they had returned from a long slog out on Ash Bay near the dreary town of Ashafen. After a cataclysmic battle in the coves along the bay, our heroes returned, contaminated and worn, back to Dransmond to lick their wounds and plan their next move, having uncovered several interesting elven tablets along the way. Now, having now spent a little bit of time to recuperate and recover, our characters are going to level up to level 8! And so, with all that in mind, why don't you guys tell us what you guys took with your level ups?
I went simple, and after doing the math, realized that no matter what feat I loved, the +2 to Dex did so much more for my character than anything else. And I imagine that Wilhelm, through his trials and errors, has gone from a chivalrous duelist to a much stronger fighter in extreme situations. So growing as a fighter, he has gained dexterity, which has increased his initiative, his attacks and damage, and his armor. He is a little bit more keen to fight the horrors that surround him.
Awesome.
So cool.
Wrath, what have you picked up?
So reaching into the book that he carries, the tome, gaining the feat of one more Eldritch invocation.
Ooh, Tasha's stuff.
Tasha's stuff too. Bruce mentioned someone. Tasha's. I thought it was just like his previous owner. He taught me more from his world. So I picked up another Eldritch Invocation, and I'm going to go with Repelling Blast to give me a bit more flexibility.
Oh, that's an unexpected pick, but that's great. Nice choice.
I love blasting people with force energy from the abyss, and I can do that now with a little bit more vigor. Thank you, Bruce.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tasha's.
Rudy, what about you?
So with all of these thin spots around, Rudy started to feel a little bit weird. So the feat I chose was Fey Touched, which gives Misty Step, +1 to Wisdom, as well as I chose Hunter's Mark as the other spell that I'll get with that. And level 8 is fun for spells now for Rudy. I got to choose a new spell, which is Enlarge Reduce.
Cool. So you picked up a bunch of spells. So you ended up with Enlarge Reduce, Misty Step, and Hunter's Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. Awesome. Maybe you're just gonna add a couple more monsters to these encounters.
D6 scores.
Okay,
My hit points
so
get taken.
in other news, speaking of hit points though, there's 2 bits of housekeeping that we need to cover in the meantime. Given some of the recent developments, I would like to propose that we start using the Healing Surge rule from the Dungeon Master's Guide. This is a very simple ability that you guys will be able to use. Basically, once per rest, as an action, you can pick up your hit dice and spend them as an action, instead of having to wait for a short rest to take them. So you still spend the hit dice, you still are using them, but it's done as an action that you can do in combat. And again, you have to take a short rest before you could do so again. And the maximum that you can spend is up to half of your maximum hit dice when you use this action. So everyone, so I will try to remind all of you about that when you're talking about healing in the future, but we're going to keep this one in play. Second of all, with the past couple months of working on the Drakkenheim book, which will feature our new contamination system that we started using last episode, we have had lots of feedback, development, playtesting, trying this out, and we have re-refined the contamination system to be significantly less punishing than it was in the last episode. So it's still quite painful and difficult to remove, but the new contamination system will be a little bit more streamlined and simplified. For those of you wondering, contamination is a new status condition that is introduced in the Drakkenheim setting. It works similar to exhaustion in that it's measured in 6 levels, with each level containing worsening and worsening effects. Unlike exhaustion, however, contamination never goes away. You have to use magic to get rid of it. And the only spell that can do that is a 3rd level spell that has an expensive material component and turns all your contamination into exhaustion. So this is not an easy status condition to get rid of. On the flip side, the revised effects of contamination at level 1, there's actually no effect. At level 2, it reduces the hit points you gain from spending hit dice by half. At level 3, you don't gain any hit points back when you finish a long rest. At level 4, all damage you deal is halved. And at level 5, you are incapacitated. You can still move. At level 6, something truly awful happens to you and you will not be playing that character anymore. So don't let that happen. Furthermore, we have a very fun table of random mutations which could occur. Every time you do gain a contamination level, you will roll a d6, and there is a chance you may mutate horribly. If you do remove your contamination, your mutations also go away. So that's a quick recap of just how this system works. It's gone through a lot of playtesting now as we have been working on the Drakkenheim book. But for those of you that are wondering, the intent of the contamination system is actually to kill the 5-minute workday in Dungeons & Dragons, to force players to continue to have to push on forward, because if they get contaminated, they're going to have to retreat for several days to rest before they can come back. So it's a little bit like a gritty variant thing, but something that players can control. So fun stuff. Any questions about these new things, you guys, before we jump in? You've got copies of them all as well. So if
with all these revisions, what do we have to say about the previously done contamination?
How many levels of contamination did you gain?
I only gained 1, but I instantly mutated and lost all my teeth and fingernails and toes.
Okay, roll a d6.
1.
Okay, so you... Instead, with the revision, we're going to say you still lose some fingernails, teeth, and toes. You are going to lose. You choose. You gotta lose 10 fingernails, teeth, and toenails.
Oh, I get to
and
choose
any
the
combination.
assortment.
How many toenails? How many fingernails? How many?
Which
teeth?
ones do you pull out?
Okay, well,
They're all loose. Which ones do you?
fingernails and toenails will grow back. So I'm gonna do. We're gonna do 6 toenails.
Oh!
How tight are your shoes?
You know, I feel like that was the thing, is like he had water in his boots, and when he pulled them off, his toenails, like 6 of them were just gone. So that means then I'm going to do, you know what? Just to make it fair, we're going to do 3 fingernails, and I lost 1 tooth, which is now replaced with a gold tooth that I got in my downtime.
Oh, that sounds good.
Cool.
Your cam's a little blurry there, Kelly. You might just want to refocus. Yeah, refocus. Excellent.
You know, I don't have my glasses on, so it looks blurry all the time to me.
Yeah.
I was slightly amorphous. And
Yes.
I had some. I think I was at a level 2 contamination with a little bit of mutation. It's a
Yes.
minor mutation.
So those are gone now. You are no longer amorphous, because
That was actually
those have no lasting effects. So those are all removed with the purge contamination spell. So now also Wrath, if you do want to, in light of these developments, if you guys want to take a month of downtime, Wrath, you can learn the Purge Contamination spell yourself, but it will require a month of training in order to do so.
Guys, I can do it in a weekend. Crash course. You know, maybe after I'll confer with my colleagues and see if that is a possibility. However, time is of the essence. Things are moving quite quickly with the Silver Order, the mission from the Bay, the contamination levels. I do not believe we have a month. We may need to require the services of the followers of the fallen fire in the future. In light of the time required, I may require or to purchase these spells when necessary. We can always be a little amorphous.
There was always the other chapel. That way we don't have to come back to this one and they question why we're
Now,
mutated again.
I believe
Again.
that we had asked River to procure some of those delightful potions that she had mentioned that can help us with
Yes.
future contamination.
This is absolutely the case. So, because you guys are working for the Amethyst Academy, they will provide you with some equipment whenever you want to go out on any of your missions. What is going to be available is slightly going to vary. But for you guys to make these choices, basically at the outset of any mission that you take for the Amethyst Academy, you can roll. You guys will be able to each take a couple potions and scrolls. You can take the Aqua Expurgo, or you could take something else. Okay, so it's up to each of you to decide what you want to get from the Academy. Okay. So basically, in each of your cases, if you are setting out on an important mission with the Amethyst Academy, you can each roll a d4, and that is how many potions and scrolls you can take. Okay, you can select potions and scrolls of up to rarity, and so Aqua Expurgo and Scrolls of Purge Contamination are both available to you through the Academy.
That might be handy to have.
Thank you, River.
Right, but again, you can also get potions that aren't Aqua Expurgo and scrolls that aren't Purge Contamination. It's just, what do you want, right?
Yeah.
Do we want to prevent the contamination or just simply remove it later? Wilhelm, you seem to have lots of teeth and toenails. I feel like you're going to be fine.
Losing one tooth was enough, and my toes hurt for... Well, they still hurt. Wrath. It still hurts.
Yeah. Because basically, bearing in mind, with Aqua Expurgo, it prevents you from gaining contamination, but it doesn't remove it once you get it, basically.
But if we remove it, then we get exhaustion.
Correct.
So we may end up removing it when we leave the haze anyways. So prevention is our best friend. That's what Bruce is telling me.
Are we doing the potions right now, or?
No, you don't have to decide right now.
Okay.
Yeah, because also I believe the biggest thing is to decide what's the next step with River.
When we left off, I believe we had decided to listen to the tablets on our own accord, without
Correct.
showing them to River. Do you guys? Did you guys? Did we all listen to the tablets? Do we need a recap on that?
I have some notes.
Well, so
would you like me to recap? Would you like to play them again?
Is it that easy? Can we just poke the
Yeah.
replay? Fast rewind.
Yeah. So across a set of tablets that you found in these ostensibly elfish ruins, you found a set of tablets that play a message from an elven man, and the recording begins as follows: "To you, 10,000 years from now, I am Valtar Banemoon. This is a message. It is part of a series of messages. As I walk the unfamiliar forests of this new world, contemplating the gap on the edge of thought where lies Acadia, distant and long forgotten, the true measure of life is memory. Looking back, it suffuses life like lightning. What is the value of so long life without such wondrous treasure? Maybe you will remember. Sending this message was important to us. We considered ourselves to be a powerful culture. A danger is present in your time as it was in ours. The danger is to the body, mind, and spirit. It can kill beyond death. The form of danger is an emanation of energy." At this point, the message becomes a little bit more fragmented and there are pieces missing from the words that are said. House Eventide has bought our survival. Knowledge, again, these are the only words you can pick out from the broken bits. Slip through space, through thin places. The fabric of the cosmos. And then it stabilizes a little bit more. To faraway celestial bodies on the other side of time. But now the time has come to pay the price. To forget what has not yet come to pass. Truly deserving of the title He Who Laughs Last. To know the origin evades even it. Fills me with dread. But so be it then. We shall run until the end of time. Blindly. We could find no other way. Maybe you will. If only you knew what already happened.
Well, Raph, what do you make of that? They talked about thin places, so I assume that perhaps you and Bruce maybe can decipher more of this message.
There is more. It seems beyond my comprehension. Although Bruce may have answers to those questions, he seems to be of a similar nature, although they all speak in cryptic words. My reasons for omitting River from this knowledge is maybe for selfish purposes. Once we discover the origin and its true meaning, we can tell her more.
If you'd like to make an Arcana check to represent the knowledge that you and Bruce might be able to call up about this, go ahead.
Well, I didn't study well, so my +0 should come in handy, and my roll of 1 meant that Bruce was biting my neck.
Yeah. Amongst the students of the Amethyst Academy, the study of elfish history is sometimes scoffed at as kind of like
boring.
Well, like if magic is music, sometimes people talk about elf music like that's like dad music, right? Like right? Like and like some people have respect for it because it is the underpinnings of it. One of the only things that is more sort of common knowledge that even having grown up in the Amethyst Academy that you do know, the Amethyst Academy takes credit for developing the modern conception of wizardry, but the people that were behind that were elves.
It's no one will ever understand this. If I can't, no one can. It's boring and useless. Although, if it becomes important, I'll let you know.
Well, the one thing I'm interested in is we got 2 names from those tablets. And I feel like maybe someone in the academy might have heard of them before. If it is, so there's Voltar, Bane Moon, and something about an Eventide. I don't know what that may mean to y'all folks in the academy, but I feel like maybe we should at least ask River that piece. Maybe she can go and do some digging.
There's one other proper noun that I'll give you is this Acadia. That seems to be another like proper word within the whole thing.
Raph, I'm going to leave the final decision here up to you, but I see no problem personally with showing these tablets to River and uncovering the mysteries. Obviously, she's far more skilled at understanding magic and history than you are.
She spent most of her years with her nose in a book, and maybe you're right. Maybe she would be worthy of some kind of consulting. However, the true discovery lies within us, and credit will go to myself and by relationship you two for what we have found here. I want that to be clear.
And of course, River has her skills and you have yours. It's just this might happen to be one of her skills is history and, nerdy magic stuff, reading.
I mumble under my breath, or I speak into Rudy's mind. Thank you, Rudy.
You're welcome.
It's just making me feel so loved.
Joe, did you say you had a +0 to Arcana?
No. I said that I won't waste time with arcane knowledge. I know all that needs to be known. It is the true. It is about looking forward, not behind, where the next evolution of magicians occur. And even then, these sorcerers are behind in their knowledge, for they do not know the power that Bruce has bestowed upon me.
And I looked at Bruce, just like,
and he's cleaning himself.
Does he know everything? Now I'm talking to the cat.
Yeah, the cat's licking its butt.
Get a good clean in.
So the question is, what information would you like to share with River? What would you like to ask her, and how? Now that you had some time to recuperate, and level up, River is expecting to have a debrief with you about what happened these past couple days and find out the status of how things are going.
I am willing to share the tablets.
I say we give her the tablets.
She must be brought in to understand them. Although I fear that it may be something that requires us to go back and learn more.
Back to Ashafen? I mean, we still have our mission. We never... We fought a Duchess mockery, it seems.
Essentially, her voice?
There was her voice, and there was the watery creature that we did fight. But that was not the Duchess. That was an image, a projection, it seems. I mean, I don't know much about how magic works, but I might know more than other party members. So that's my conclusion.
Are you looking right at me?
I was looking right at you.
I'm sorry, I was off in another world.
So what's the verdict then?
Let's bring the tablets to River and play them in full to her.
Okay.
We'll give her a full report about what we saw, I guess, and where we're at with the mission.
All right. So one morning, after a few days, you gather together in the morning in the private room that you have in the Kraken Manor. The Kraken Manor being one of the finer hotels that are located in the port city of Dransmond. River has some tea and coffee and some scones brought in to go over the debrief. They're very, very, very well made, and there's some honey and some cinnamon to go with the scones. And some really nice butter as well. The coffee is delicious. The tea, various flavors are available. And so you sit in the common room on the settees that are arranged there. And River comes out into the room. River is a tiefling mage. She's short, in her mid-20s, and she always wears this very practical yet professional attire, with her sort of a purple jacket and with a high collar. And she's left her pouches and pockets all in her room, and she's come back in this time with several notebooks and several things and several other arcane notepads with her, including a quill that writes on its own. River herself, of course, as you all know, wears 5 rings on her right hand, and she has flowing blue hair with the brown horns and speckled brown skin. As you prepare to debrief, she turns around and you see her incanting. She asked for a little bit of prep time, and you see her incanting 2 spells as you prepare to debrief her. The first spell that she casts is Arcane Lock on the front door, and the second spell that she casts is Private Sanctum. And she says, we can never be too cautious.
I appreciate the candidness of this meeting.
All right. It looked like you had a really, really rough time out there. But I think that you might have found something valuable at the same time. Do you want to show me what you found?
Wrath, could you bring over the tablets?
Yes, these totally undecipherable tablets, even by the most powerful mages. And I'm going to present the tablets that we found in the ruins. They play back a mysterious message from a far traveler.
River is completely silent as she listens to the tablets for the first time. And then immediately once the tablets finish, she says, "Play it one more time, please."
As you wish.
And the second time around, she is frantically writing.
River,
Roll my eyes.
we were unable to make any sense of what is being said here. It sounds very important. If I were to be of use as an investigator, I would tell you that these are probably the most important clue that we have found so far to figuring out what is going on with these elven ruins. And it makes me keen to find further elven ruins to try to decipher if there is more than one message, or if there is in fact more clues hidden within the elves and their ancient homes. And do you think this links to anything going on in Aschaffen or Dransmund or any of the horrors that we faced, or is this separate entirely?
Whether or not it is related, it is significant. All I can say is that it's par for the course for research teams in the Academy. You set out searching for one thing and end up finding another. As long as you've got something that you can publish in the end, well, you know, you might not get your funding cut. But this definitely follows under the umbrella of things we were not looking for at all. When we came here, our project was to find out where delirium is being shipped to outside the Academy, or why there might be monsters and what might be going on beyond. The Academy is in a bit of a difficult position right now, because there's more and more, shall we say, tension in the grand political scheme of things, particularly with our involvement in Drakkenheim and how things have shook out, particularly with the Silver Order. We need you three to be working towards helping the situation so that people don't think that the Amethyst Academy were the ones responsible for what happened in Drakkenheim. This doesn't help us with that, but it still might be important.
Do you have any information that you can give us about the names suggested in this cryptic message? There was Arcadia, Eventide, and was it Zoltar?
Voltar, Bane
Voltar.
Moon.
Do these mean anything to you?
Voltar Bane Moon means nothing to me at all. Eventide, there have been Eventides that have been part of the Amethyst Academy for generations. So that's interesting.
That is interesting.
The name Acadia, well, it's a bit obscure, but Acadia is sometimes spoken about by elves in relation to the world that they came from. It's known for a while that the elven people aren't of our world, that they came from somewhere else, that they crossed through somehow. The strange thing about it is that very few elves talk about why, and amongst those that I've been close to, most of them are actually a bit hesitant to admit that they don't know.
So potentially generations that have been brought up here in Drakkenheim and they've forgotten where they come from?
I mean, elves live a really long time. And, we, amongst humans, we have a good sense of our history stretching back a couple thousand years. And so to think that the elves who live 10 times as long wouldn't have some sort of understanding of where they came from, I mean, that's always seemed a little weird to me. But
convenient, I guess, for them.
They're hiding something.
You mentioned before that you want us to help make people think that the Academy didn't have anything to do. Did the Academy have anything to do?
The Academy had nothing to do with what happened in Drakkenheim. Nobody knows why that happened. Nobody knows where it came from. Nobody knows where this delirium has come from at all. The only thing, and if anything, the Amethyst Academy was affected just as much as anybody else. The meteor went right through one of our towers, one of the most important and critical few places that the Academy has in the entire continent. And so people that say, oh, well, the Academy, well, no, the people that died there, the research that was set back, the things that were changed. I mean, fortunately, we've been able to access the tower now, but it's a mess, frankly. That tower had archives of research, forbidden magic, vaults containing creatures that just should not be. And making sure that all that is working order, it's going to be decades, maybe years even, maybe even a century before the tower is even close to being able to do what it used to do.
I guess there's the coincidence is that we hear this. You mentioned there's eventides in the Academy. There's an eventide on this mystical tablet. Are there eventides still at the Academy that you can check in with?
The last eventide in the Amethyst Academy was the former Archmage of Drakkenheim. But she retired before the meteor struck and died about maybe 30 years before. So maybe 30 years ago. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm sorry. I actually don't know much about her. She was part of the directorate, and to be perfectly honest, the directorate, they're far above my pay grade, to be honest.
Well, maybe it's something that someone in the higher up, we can pass this knowledge along. Maybe it'll help the Academy make sorts of, what's going on with delirium, since there might be a connection there. Who knows?
It's possible. I can definitely bring it to Eldrick and see what he thinks of it. It feels like, thinking of what Eldrick would do, he would say we don't have all the facts yet. And he always used to say that if you don't understand something, it means you're missing a piece of information.
There is more, River. We found a ancient scrying machine. And it told us things about the world, the surrounding region. I can almost put together that it was some kind of machine to watch out for. If anything, Rudy, I know that the connection seems vague, but maybe there was someone ancient working for the Academy trying to warn, or if anything, the Academy might have been the first on it. Although, again, we do not have all the facts.
Well, I will say that it seems important that we uncover the truth of this matter. And the truth seems to be linked to the elven ruins. And, I mean, rule number 30, truth always has a way of coming out. And so, I say we press on this truth. Now, there is still the mission at hand. We did not succeed in our mission, River. Things got dire and we had to retreat, and I hope you understand that. The Duchess is still at large.
But from what you said, it seems like this creature has an interest, was occupying the ruins where you found these tablets.
So this is the interesting thing. Delirium, the Duchess, the elven ruins. I'm not one to bank on coincidence. I think that there is more to this than mere chance. And I think it's worth investigating. Now, the question becomes, we're still on the hunt for the Duchess. We fought something, and it was horrible. But what we fought was a false Duchess. The Duchess is still somewhere near Ashshafen. So too is that elven ruin, the lighthouse. What do you think our next move should be?
This Duchess creature must be destroyed. There's no doubt about that. We have to find it. We have to destroy it. But where it seems an unknown. Perhaps there's a way of drawing it out.
We killed many of its followers, those that it had converted beyond help.
But more so, if it wasn't residing in that cove where all those people from Ashshafen were going, it might have a lair somewhere else. This Duchess is an aquatic creature, yes?
Seems to be.
Why would it live anywhere near land?
So it's likely somewhere in the bay. Do you think, Rudy, Wrath, even River, if you have any advice on this, but do we think that perhaps the lighthouse might hold more clues to unravel this mystery that could help us triangulate or pinpoint a location within the bay? There's a large portion of the bay covered in deep haze, which I suspect could all be potentially the lair of this beast. But the bay is large, the water is deep. We could be hunting with our blind. We could be hunting blind through hazy contamination. Does it make sense to go to the ruins of the lighthouse first, or to hunt the Duchess?
If this creature is underwater, is dwelling somewhere, what does it want? Where does it go? Is there a way that we could draw it out? Perhaps lure it into a trap?
You know, come to think of it, it has been, well, it feels like months ago now. There was a lieutenant, a figurehead, somebody that the Duchess trusted, who was in the lighthouse, I believe. There was, when we fought those fish in the sewers in Dransmond, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, again, it's been a few days. I believe that it was hinted at that there was another name, a creature in the lighthouse who worked for the Duchess.
Cardinal?
Cardinal? It's not much to go on, and I mean, it was an offhand comment by, what was her name?
Buckham.
There were a lot of
Priestess Cookie.
Yes.
Oh, Cookie, yeah.
There was a lot of fish with weird names. They gave out more weird names, but they did say a weird name, and they said that they were at the lighthouse. Perhaps capturing and questioning?
There was a connection that Cookie did mention to the lighthouse with the cardinal, but we didn't have much information to go on now. And right now, it's our only lead to potentially find some information versus, just digging around in the cove.
If this creature has dispatched a minion to the lighthouse, it means the creature is interested in it for some reason.
Well then, I say it would make sense. There's always a trail to follow. That's rule number 6. And if we're going to follow a trail, the trail seems to actually be most leading to the lighthouse, where we might be able to uncover more about the Duchess.
My advice, it is fortuitous. It seems that this Duchess creature is interested in this elven tale for some reason. It might be that what you've discovered is some sort of fixation of this creature, some sort of interest. Beware of how it might be using this knowledge for... You said this creature had some sort of magical capabilities. Perhaps it is seeking some sort of knowledge about the elves, or some sort of magic that they had or buried away.
Then us and the Duchess have something in common.
I think with their connection to the ruins where we found the ritual happening, doesn't surprise me that she's looking at this potentially to become stronger, or some connection to the delirium. We won't know until we go check it out.
Yes, the seeing glass that we found, the magical, what did you call it, Raph? A scrying machine?
Yes, it seems to be some sort of machine capable of replicating the scrying spell, which I remember from school, so that's important that we notice that.
Raph, that was found right next to the Duchess, or the cove where the ritual was being performed. So there were elven ruins in the cove as well.
Now, those that did partake in the ritual it was Rudy that discovered a almost untouched portion of these caves that led to this ruin. It seemed to be almost trapped in time. My hope is that the lighthouse is of similar nature.
These, did these creatures have the elven devices in their possession?
No, the elven devices, the tablets, were picked off of elven statues within the ruins. Now, they were there, right in the cove. But it is possible that they listened to them and put them back. It seems, once again, too big of a coincidence that the Duchess would be linked to the lighthouse and the cove with the ruins.
Strange.
The other
Strange
tablet
indeed.
we found was back in the swamp, was it not? The first ruin that we investigated? That's where we found the first tablet. No?
I don't think that's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
All 3 were from the...
Oh,
Yeah.
all 3 were... Okay.
At the thin place, it was very similar in feeling, that underground temple that almost forgotten its true purpose. It seems that these are connected, these two places, in some other way.
River, I think it makes sense that we head back to Ashafin and back into those elven ruins. Now, if we are going to do that, I would ask for any aid that you can offer us in terms of preventing further contamination. And I would also ask, with your resources, that you look to it to try to locate any other potential elven ruins that might be around Westamar, as this could be important for us.
I have been looking into that. There are many possible sites that could be explored. There's not a lot of people that we can send to do it, to look through them. That's the only trouble.
Well, sounds like a job for the Dusk Wardens.
Indeed. Well then, you have your work cut out for you. You can each roll a d4, and this is how much so technically I'm having you each roll a d4 because it's fun, but you guys can pool these resources however you see fit.
4.
1. Oh.
Okay, so you get 9 potions and scrolls.
Do you guys want to give me one
Make
each?
3 each.
Yeah.
3 each?
Okay. What do you want to take?
Right away, I'm going to go with an Aqua Aspergo.
Okay.
I'm going to go with a potion of... What level healing can I get?
You can get a potion of greater healing.
All right, so I'm going to get 1 Aqua Aspergo, 1 potion of greater healing. Can I get a potion of invisibility?
But I believe a potion of invisibility is a very rare item.
Very rare.
Yeah.
Then I'll take 2 potions of greater healing and a potion of Aqua Aspergo.
Cool.
I am going to take a greater healing, an Expurgo, and then I think...
And remember, you can take spell scrolls as well.
Well,
What
you
was
guys
the one
can.
where I got where it was it haste?
Yeah.
Was that what I had with the Chungus and
Yeah. Yeah.
what? Let me see.
Yeah, you can a rare spell scroll is a spell of up to 5th level.
All right, I'm gonna look up what that was, but it's
Okay.
that one.
Yeah, I think that's haste. So you want greater healing, and all that.
Greater healing, Expurgo, and that one haste. I think.
River says this. I want you to know that these are the resources that I can provide to you through our connections in the academy. But if you do have gold, I can connect you with the sales department, and you can buy things as well if you need anything. Wrath, you'll understand this. The Edicts of Lumen mean that we have to observe a strict standard of mercantile neutrality under the tenets of the Edicts of Lumen.
I understand this.
That means that we can give you lots of things, but anything that we are going to sell, I can't just give that to you. It would be a violation of the Edicts of Lumen. So if there are things that you would like to purchase in addition, I can put you in touch with our merchants, and if you do want to purchase more things, that's possible.
I also get a discount. I have a discount card, and we can apply that, I believe.
The Edicts of Lumen literally, like quite literally, don't allow discounts.
Guys, I've got a really good deal. 100 gold for a potion? Let me talk to them. So I got it for 100 gold.
No, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. There's a sibling moment.
The siblings are fighting again.
Look, just help me out, River. I'm just trying to we're going into the ruins. We just need... We found lots of gold.
You realize that you just got thousands of gold worth of potions for free.
And we've got you tablets. I feel like that is a fair trade. These are very ancient tablets, and they look really old, and they still play the message. So that means that they're in good condition.
I don't think we should sell these tablets to
To pay for my Aqua Expergo needs.
Yeah, if there is, like, we can buy the delirium off of you, though, if you have any, or any otherwise.
Did we keep track of that? Did you keep track of that?
Yeah, have you guys found any delirium? I don't know if you have.
I feel like we did.
It's been a little while.
Ritual.
Everything not saved is lost, you guys. You gotta take
We did find a lot of gems, like valuable gems, in the caves structure as well. We have a pretty good pool of gold, but for now, I think with just a few of these resources, I don't know. I think we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Couldn't possibly be as bad
We
as
blew
last time.
our wad on Wilhelm's gold tooth.
Yeah,
And,
sorry, that cost most of our gold.
A greater healing is 20, right? 20 healing?
Yeah.
Correct. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. So if you do want to buy anything else when you are in Dransmond, basically, River says that like the Duke has a court mage assigned to him from the Amethyst Academy, and that court mage would actually be the one that you would go to purchase things from the academy, because River doesn't do that. She doesn't do any of the mercantile stuff. You know, it's like that's not her department, right?
Before we set out, River, how are our horses doing? Are they good? Are you taking care of them?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for the confidence.
Smash cut to the horse is like in a stasis field.
Yeah, it's just like floating. I will follow suit and also take some Aqua Expurgo, a greater healing potion, and
should we take a purge contamination scroll? I don't want to make a third choice for you. That just
yeah. What is the does River have access to the or is that something I would talk to the Sacred Flame? Followers of the Falling Fire, I mean.
Although at the outset of the Drakkenheim campaign, this spell is only known to the followers of the Falling Fire, corporate espionage has happened, and the Amethyst Academy has access to the spell now.
Well done. I feel like maybe I try to take some credit for it, even though I had no idea that this happened. I probably had something to do with it. I'll take one of those, if possible, as our moment.
Okay, cool. She does say that yes, if you do want to purchase more Academy equipment, you can seek out Sundar Stormgale, who is a Dragonborn evoker that oversees the he is located in Dransmond, and he is basically the court mage for the Duke as well as the local Academy broker. So meeting with him you can purchase Academy equipment from him.
What's his name?
Sundar Stormgale.
Cool. Woo!
Well, sounds like back into the heat of it.
How many days off did we get essentially from the time that we returned?
6. It's been 6 days.
So would that be enough to get rid of both levels of exhaustion?
Yeah, you get rid of 1 per day.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Feeling as good as new.
I'm also going to change up my spell storing ring a little bit. I still have some ointment. I'm ready.
I have
to
one
set out.
ointment.
Alrighty.
And potions. So, are we taking a boat there, or are we walking or horsing?
I'll swim.
We are going to the lighthouse, which is on the water, no?
True, we can avoid all of Ashshafen and any other crazy villagers by just sailing straight for the lighthouse.
Mm-hmm. River has made arrangements to make sure that you have access to a boat that you can sail out there.
Good.
All right.
Is it a rowboat like last time? So we just make Rudy do it?
No, because you're going to go out on the water, it does have a sail.
You just see those like oars come out of the bottom. I still.
You're
We'll get us
below
there
deck,
faster.
trying to keep us going. The Flintstones mobile just but at the bottom, just running.
Yes.
Cool. When would you like to set out?
I think on the dawn of the 7th day.
Do we wish to speak to this Academy Mage? I know we have garnered many resources. Although, do we look for more Aqua Expurgo? Do we plan on coming back? We do end up facing quite the challenge ahead of us. If we do end up going to the lighthouse, which seems to be within some kind of haze, but also if we plan to seek the Duchess before returning, we may require more resources if we are to.
It's true. If we are able to uncover the whereabouts of the Duchess, we will not have to return here, which means that we might want additional Aqua Expurgo and healing. At least for me, that's what I would be keen to get. So why don't we go talk to Mr. Stormgale?
Sure. The river lets you know that if you want to get him at the best opportunity, in the early morning and late afternoon, a couple times per week, Sundar Stormgale comes from the Duckle Palace down to the Duckle Markets in Dransmond, where basically he does the business of the Amethyst Academy, right? So there's a lot of trade that goes through here, and so he comes out and operates basically in the market, making specific deals. So she gives you the information of where to find him. Basically, there's a in Dransmond, in more of the heart of the city, there is this large open stone plaza that is surrounded by high kind of plastered and terracotta ceilinged buildings that every day it becomes a high marketplace. So this is not the marketplace where the common folk go to buy food or fish. This is the marketplace where the various high-end traders that are coming through Dransmond are here to sell the stuff that you can't get anywhere else. And so the way the market is built is that it is this roughly C-shaped building with terracotta roofs and several arched niches that are open air that surround the area. So essentially each vendor can rent one of these niches and set up whatever they want to do, or they can get stalls out in the middle. And so so as you head through the market, it's very easy actually to find where Sundar has set up his operation, because there is a large shield guardian which towers over the stalls in the marketplace that is cracking its metallic and wooden knuckles and kind of being this small beacon for folks that want to trade with the Amethyst Academy. And as you come up to the area, you can actually see that that in the air around this open air market are glowing runes that are on the walls, that are kind of bristling, and the runes are the shape of the Academy rune, which is a pentagram with an unblinking eye. And as you come up to the place where Sundar Stormgale is, the eye in the rune is darting around, looking at everybody that is walking through the vicinity. But the area is rather unadorned. There is a stone table, and Sundar Stormgale is sitting there, and there are several Academy apprentices out front, and you see that Sundar Stormgale is speaking with somebody, but you can't hear anything. So he's sitting there at a table speaking with this piratey looking man, and the man and as the man puts things on the table, they become blurry. And so the man is speaking with Sundar, pulls out a bag, puts things on the table, and whatever's there just becomes this blur of color. And you see Sundar Stormgale miming back, and he reaches down, puts something on the table, which also blurs out. And everyone else around this seems to find this completely unremarkable.
Are they pretending to talk? Like, are you pretending to talk right now? Are you just what's happening here? They're moving their mouths. Is this a game? I join in. I like come near them and I start going.
Maybe something to hide their intentions.
One of the apprentices, a young gnome, starts buckling over with laughter as you're miming yourselves, and the gnome says, "Don't you know? It's a privacy veil. It's how it's how we do all of our business here."
Why would I know that?
I knew that, and I chose not to reveal it.
Wrath, now you're making me make a fool of myself. Is that intentional?
It's what you do. I attempt to enter the shop.
The apprentices ask you to wait till Sundar finishes his existing business.
Sorry.
Which concludes only a few minutes later. And as you step in, Sundar Stormgale, who is this broad-chested and deep crimson-scaled dragonborn man, with a big mane of fins coming out the back of his head and a thick scaled tail, and he wears this kind of cut of robes of the Amethyst Academy, and he speaks out, "Ah, you're River's brother, aren't you? You're the ones working with River, right? She told me that you might be coming around to shop. All right. What do you need? Now remember, we can't do anything under the table, you understand?"
Over the table only.
Yes, Sundar. We have been informed. River has sent us this way to purchase some goods before our next expedition.
Very well. That said, I can open the stores that we would only sell to a duke for you, so that's something.
That's mighty appreciated.
Okay. This is what is available that Sundar Stormgale currently has available. He has a bag of holding for 500 gold, goggles of night for 500 gold, an immovable rod for 500 gold, a wand of magic missiles for 500 gold, gauntlets of ogre power for 1,000 gold, a headband of intellect for 1,000 gold, a cloak of protection for 1,500 gold, a wand of fireballs for 5,000 gold, and glamored studded leather armor for 5,000 gold. In addition, he has potions of greater healing for 100 gold each, potions of water breathing for 100 gold each, and potions of resistance of any energy type for 250 gold each, potions of superior healing for 500 gold, and doses of aqua expurgo and scrolls of purge contamination for 500 gold each.
So the aqua expurgo is 500 gold for a dose?
Correct.
Now, friends, if we pool our resources together, is there any chance that we can get that glimmering studded leather armor? Because it looks pretty. 5,000
Wilhelm, we're trying to be practical here. You don't need any shiny armor. You're fine.
Gold has no use to the dead.
Morph into a monstrosity, your armor will mean nothing.
Wrath, thank you. You're... very well.
Bruce will enjoy feasting on your monstrous flesh.
What, we've come so far, Wrath, and then you say things like that, and I gotta question whether or not we're actually making a kinship here, or if you're just, are you jesting with me, or are you maniacal behind this veneer of pleasantry?
It's a mere fact. I wish to only contain the mutations to your teeth and toenails.
How much gold do you guys have?
That's a great question. I have 730 on my character sheet.
So I have it after the Chungus and Chunger. We found where the gem was. We found $3,000 worth of stuff that added up. And then I have 630.
And I have 823, more or less. Exactly.
Still, some of these items are quite expensive, and I do think I need another potion of Aqua Expergo. So that's going to cost me 500.
I vote we get 3 more doses of Aqua Expergo and potentially some more healing. Although, if anyone had any sort of inkling towards the magic items, I can more than happy to donate. But I think at least I want to have. I could give 100 of my own gold towards anything you guys wanted to.
We can
buy.
do Aqua Expergo out of the group.
True.
Sure.
And then from there, if we want more magic items.
So 3 Aqua Expergo, please.
Okay.
Yeah, would he accept some gold and findings?
It spends all. He says it spends just as well, and he produces from a bag of holding the potions that you ask for. Good. Well, he's like, to be perfectly honest, I didn't think anyone was going to buy any of these anytime soon. You cleaned me out.
How much was the bag of holding again?
500 gold.
Do we think that we could use a bag of holding?
Will it contain delirium?
I mean, it's a great vessel for carrying delirium, I assume. A bag of holding, to me, alludes to the fact that it probably holds items, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to? Yes. Do you want to get it? 500.
I mean, I'm not much of a satchel person. I don't know, but if we want to buy it as a group, Raph, perhaps you could carry it.
It's worth reminding yourselves as well. The Aqua Expergo, when you buy it, these aren't potions; they're syringes.
Oh yeah.
So they come out in a leather pouch that they're in a pocket, and the Academy. For those of you that remember when Oscar Yoren made these for Drakkenforce, the Academy ones are way slicker. It's this beautiful little glass thing, and as you pull out the book, there's actually a little instruction manual inside that explains, and then there's a little pamphlet that says like warning delirium, and it lists like common exposure to delirium and hazards and what to do, and like it's all very pedestrian advice, but well regarded nonetheless, and the and even it lists out the safe disposal of the syringe after it's being used. So they're basically, you can imagine these syringes that are about 8 inches long. The whole thing is about 8 inches long. The needle itself is scarily thick because it's meant to be stabbed into your heart.
I thought I was buying a potion that just came in a neat package.
No, it goes in the heart.
It says here, don't feed to animals or keep out of reach of children.
Aqua Expergo has not been tested on children and animals.
Misuse may cause mild death. Concerning, but very well.
These are standard warning labels, Wilhelm. Pay them no heed. Just apply it directly into your heart and we'll be fine.
Very well.
Is there anything else you guys would like to shop for?
You know what?
My money. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, like, if nobody's going to buy the bag of holding, I don't want to carry the bag of holding, but I will buy it for us.
I was thinking of getting the rod.
I was going to say I wanted to get a rod. Do you want it or?
I will absolutely. Take the rod.
You take it then.
Cool.
And I'm buying you, Wrath, the bag of holding as well.
The immovable rod that is built by the Amethyst Academy is this metallic, so this dull gray metallic rod that at either end of it is actually a small delirium shard. And so you actually activate the immovable rod by pushing the delirium shard down, which is encased in glass, down into either side of it to lock it in place. So you take both ends, push the delirium in, and there's kind of this thrum.
Here, you can keep it in your new bag, and I toss you the bag of holding.
Yep.
And you mentioned our gauntlets, correct?
Yes, gauntlets of ogre power. They are 1,000 gold, and they will change your strength to 19 while you wear them.
And sorry, how much for the goggles of?
The goggles of night, 500 gold.
Whoa, Siri, calm down. Well, I just blew my 500 on a bag of holding for.
I'll
Wrath.
buy those for you.
Do they come in a monocle form? Or
He cuts the other
do you happen
side
to
of
have a
it.
glass eye that has the same magic in it? No, I'll just wear the goggles.
What they're able to do though is you can get goggles that have an eye patch integrated into them, and so we'll say for this purpose that that is that. So they still function. So basically, the way the goggles are designed is that the goggles and the eye patch are one piece, and lifting the goggles up and down again just goes over the eye patch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, Wilhelm, can we? Do I get to see underneath? Does he take off his eye patch and put on the goggles? Do I get to see underneath the eye patch?
I do, like right there in front of you guys. I take the eye patch off and I put the goggles on. If you hadn't noticed, it's not on me, but Wilhelm has a scar that goes down across his eye, from just like a little bit above to a little bit below. And when he removes the eye, you can see what looks like a sword wound right into his head, right into his skull, right into that eye. There is no eye there. There is nothing there. Just a sword gash.
And as you're taking it off, I say, Rat, give him some privacy. Give him some privacy. Obviously, he doesn't like to show it off.
Fascinated. What secrets does that hole hold?
So to summarize, you guys have purchased 3 doses of Aqua Expurgo.
Yeah.
The bag of holding, the goggles of night, and the immovable rod. That's 3,000 gold spent total.
And
Ka-ching,
I
ka-ching.
want to add one more from the group, and this is like for everybody, which is a potion of superior healing.
Okay.
You guys cool with that?
If you want to hang on to that, Rudy, I actually bought the immovable rod with my own money, and just 2 greater healing potions. So I'll fork over my 700 gold. So you can take the if you tried to take it out of the group fund, I bought it.
Okay.
Cool. Nicely done, y'all.
We rich. Not
I
anymore.
mean, not anymore, but we're rich with resources.
Still got a little bit of money left. We didn't make it all go dry, you know?
Wrath, for buying you the bag of holding, if I ever need the immovable rod, I hope that I can borrow it.
It's for us all.
Thank you.
I just thought it looked fancy.
Alrighty. So with your new equipment in tow and all of your various provisions and everything ready to go, you head down to the docks where River has prepared for you to take up a boat of your own. It's up to you all to crew it this time around, but it'll at least it's a seaworthy small boat that you can take out onto the bay, that you can open the sails easy enough or drive it with the oars. The looking out onto Dransmond, The mist that is hung over the bay is still there. That has not gone away, even though otherwise in Drensman it's pretty much a sunny day. It's this strange mist that is still hanging all over the bay, even though the sun is coming through the clouds. Are you going to set out?
I think so.
Now
We have prepared.
when do we want to take this Aqua Expurgo?
How long does the Aqua Expurgo last again?
It lasts for 8 hours, and it'll take you a little while to row out to the lighthouse. If you recall before, it was like a bit of an overnight trip. So you can row out, park the boat on the shore, and then row back out from there again this time. So it's a bit of an extended journey to actually get out to the lighthouse.
I say we wait to jam these into our chest until the haze stings the nostrils.
Mm-hmm. We
That's
will know.
usually the indicator.
Yeah. It's like that watering in your eyes.
Once the eyes start to water and your nostrils hurt, you jam this into your chest.
Boom.
and
Fight it.
We see what happens. Hopefully this protects us from the horrors of contamination.
Cool.
Hope so.
So after heading out and parking your boat and camping out one night, and then the next day, that feeling of making your eyes water starts to settle in, and the smell of ozone hits your nostrils. And so out on the water, you take the needles and painfully inject yourselves with the Aqua Expurgo. So the effect of this is that if you fail a saving throw against an effect which causes contamination, you can choose to succeed instead. You can use this feature 3 times. After it has been used for the 3rd time, the effects of Aqua Expurgo expire. When they do, you take some necrotic damage, and you'll be incapacitated for 1 minute while you throw up from every orifice in your body.
No.
Ow.
It's all there. It's all there in the fine print.
Pleasant.
Yes.
You point that out to me after I've jammed it into my chest, not realizing. You're like, oh yes, if
I folded out the rest of the pamphlet. Oh, behind this part, you want to really pay attention.
Read the side effects first before jamming things into your chest.
I just trusted Wrath like an idiot. Won't make that mistake again.
Do not misplace your trust, my friend.
You
I will
know,
not lead you astray.
With that, you continue paddling the boat out towards the lighthouse. The lighthouse itself lies upon a rocky crag, a rocky island that is just off the bay, a couple 100 feet from the rocky coves, but a good distance from the cove where you encountered the Duchess, or her minions, rather. The tower itself rests on this rocky outcrop island that the cliff face goes up about 150 feet, and then the lighthouse lies on top of it. And although it is called the lighthouse, it doesn't look much like a lighthouse once you get close to it at all. Instead of being a building of glass and or having any sort of visible torch or anything that would shed light, it does kind of have an eerie gloom or glow to it. But the lighthouse is, in fact, this massive building that almost entirely occupies the crag of the rock that it lies atop. And rather than being a singular tower, it consists of what appear to be basically several stone domes arranged around what eventually is 2 extremely tall, almost 700 feet tall stone buildings. So these are visible for quite a distance away. And as you look upon them, I'll just pull up the top-down map in Roll20. So this is the layout from the top, right? So what you can actually see here is that there's count them up, 5 towers, okay? With this one and this one being the tallest one, the ones that reach almost 700 feet tall. And they go up, they almost touch. What happens with these towers is that one is roughly cross-shaped, the other is perfectly circular. And about 600 feet up, there's a small bridge that connects the two of the towers together. Now, furthermore, what you can see is that there is this, on this tower over here, this bottommost one, which is the eastmost one, it is the most squat of all the towers. And it in fact is only about maybe 300 feet tall. And it comes up to a dome, and upon the top of the dome, you can actually make out, it looks like there might be a terrace on top of it, and then there's this high needle that extends from off of it. And a walkway that connects from that terrace into this tower here, which just rises up, and it goes the same height as the as the other ones here. But this tower, it's a little bit strange to say, because the stonework of the central tower and this tower are kind of blobbily merged into each other. And then finally, this tower over here, it extends up about 500 feet. So 300, 500, 700, with the balcony at 600.
And it's on top of a cliff as well. Like, we're at the base of a cliff.
Yes, it's on top of a 150 foot high cliff.
Well,
Someone didn't want us getting in here. It's quite high up as I take a look from the boat.
while I'm looking up at these buildings, can I make out, do they have any windows or doors?
There are no windows. There are no windows at all.
This place seems like some sort of alien fortress. It's bizarre to look upon. I've never seen buildings like this.
There is seaweed and moss that is growing up the side of it, here and there, and it is definitely weathered on the outside. Like parts of the external stonework have borne the ravages of time. But the quality of the stone, it's kind of this light sort of granite, very unlike any locally quarried stone. But somewhat reminiscent of the stone that you've encountered in the other elven ruins.
And you said there was a glow. Is it the whole building is glowing, or is there a glow coming from somewhere specific?
There's a bit of a the actual little spire, the spike that comes off the center is you can, when you look at it, it actually looks like there's a little bit of crackling lightning around it.
Well, I suppose first order of business is to find a way in. Rule number 27, there's always more than one way in, so...
Yeah. There's a fair amount of damage to the external building, such that over the course of time, looking at it, there's enough handholds that it could be climbed, but that would be it could be climbed, just not easily. Like, you would want to be an experienced climber to do it.
I mean, I climbed a well. I could climb a building, I think.
Yes. But unfortunately, Wrath isn't much of a climber, so we'd have to, be careful for him.
I mean, definitely.
Why? Because I got trapped at the bottom of a well one time?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. No matter, friends. During our downtime, I have consulted with Bruce, and he has shown me his winged ways. And Rudy, can you carry Wilhelm?
I mean, carry him and climb?
We will fly. We will soar. And I'm going to cast Fly on as a 4th level spell on Rudy and myself.
Okay.
And and magically
I'm gonna fireman. Can I fireman hold Will Homicide?
it's important. Or holding him by the legs and dangling him. Either one of those is appropriate.
I toss him over my shoulder and I'm like, here we go.
Okay. Great.
and
this.
That is the scariest piggyback ride ever.
Yeah.
Just looking straight down.
Do you trust me?
Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah, hold out your hand, Rudy.
Do you trust me?
Rudy, honestly, yes, I do.
Oh, good. I was gonna say, you living in my barn that whole time. If you don't trust me by now, I don't know if we could ever build that trust, but I'm glad you do.
Rudy, I can assure you I trust more than I've trusted anybody else in the world currently.
Awesome.
We don't have much time, friends. The effects of the spell will wear off quickly. We must find a way in.
As you take to the sky, you and fly up, you can see that even the seagulls don't fly up this high on top of this tower. There's maybe evidence that maybe there were some nests up here, but the winds get quite fast as you get high up here. It's not enough to knock you off your flight. Like, your flight is stable, but the wind whips in your ears. And as you do so, first of all, my first question for you is, from which direction do you want to approach? Because I've assumed that you come from the south, because that's where Dransmond is. So from which direction do you wish to approach the tower? And how do you want to fly around? Where do you want to fly to?
You want whatever the shortest.
I was thinking, up and then kind of survey. Although maybe being, I don't know if anything's here though. That's the only thing. Like, are we aware? Are we going to be try to sneaky and be like, try not to let people know that we're here? If there
we're flying already. We're obvious at this point. If somebody were to look out at the sky around this tower, they would see 2 people, one and another one being carried.
I disguise myself as a
There's
seagull.
no windows.
So
unless they're on the top,
I'm going to point over to the spire and be like, is there a balcony over there?
Yeah, so as I said, this kind of
Rudy's back.
On the top of this dome here, basically it rises up, right? The height of about 300 feet from the, so it already is 500 feet above sea level, basically, right? The dome rises up and collects itself, and at the top of the dome though is this basically this balcony landing that surrounds the spire here, and then there's a walkway that goes, and as you fly up you can actually see that there is there's a niche that is cut into the tower right here, where there is a stone doorway. As you fly up though, you see something peculiar. Each of you can roll me a perception check.
I get a 21.
19.
Okay.
13.
Wilhelm, as you fly up, you are the first to see it. See how the tower here and the tower here do not directly abut each other. Mm-hmm. There is a gap between them that is a few feet wide. And at that point had been jammed a makeshift ladder created from what looks like to be the planks of ships. So essentially these pieces of wood are set so that they kind of are jammed in between the two towers, and the two pieces of the towers, and then there's rope ladders and clearly the bits of ship's rigging that have made a ladder from the ground all the way up, and then several other boards and planks have been wedged across the roof in a trail leading to here. And as you fly around, you see that in front of the door, and extending out into the and extending out along towards from the door basically to the spire are thick black scorch marks.
Now, this leads me to believe, friends, that this entrance is the one being used by anybody who might be here. Do we look for another entrance? Raph, could you send Bruce to just see if there's a cave around the coast of the island?
Just so that I'm being totally clear, because of the height of the towers, unless you if you don't fly 360 degrees around, like, you guys basically haven't seen what is on the north side at all.
Should we do a little lap around?
Do we have time? How long does the spell go for?
10 minutes.
Yeah, that'd be enough time.
Let's do a quick flight around just to make sure we have our bearings and have taken it all in before we choose an entry point.
So, what you can see is that as you scope around the building, another set of these logs had been hammered into the building along the side right here, forming another ladder that goes all the way up to the bridge.
So potentially 2 areas where we can get in.
Rudy.
Any scorch marks on this side?
Flying around, the doors might be open.
Well, I don't know which one's more concerning.
And that's where we're going to take our break. Okay, so I think we'll take our break there because we're running a little bit past that. We're going to be back because Jill is got a new baby and baby needs baby things. We're going to take 20 minutes for on our breaks for the next couple weeks. So we will see you all in 20 minutes. And we are back from our break. We have all had our short rests, noshed down some food, refilled on our sugary drinks, and we're going to play some more D&D. Alrighty. Not sugary drinks in Kelly's case. Okay. So the 3 of you circle about the tower. As you do, you can all roll me a d6.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
6!
2.
1! I did it. I brought it back.
Okay.
Sorry,
Here it
guys.
comes.
Sorry.
Okay. So, as you circle around the tower, you hear a small screeching noise. First a small screech, and then a louder one. And quite suddenly, as you scope, flutter and float around, you see on the bridge, all of a sudden, a yelping noise, and see, from the distance, a fishy humanoid get flung from the balcony. And in the moments that follow, you see the following things happen. The fishy humanoid is flung from the balcony, and bursting out from one of these alcoves comes a large winged reptilian creature. Its front limbs are wings, and it is this deep, almost purple black color. And it has a long serpentine neck and thick, muscled rear hind legs. And its tail extends out like a long whip and ends in a long, barbed delirium shard. For the spines that are going up and down its back are haphazardly pieces of delirium crystals jutting out from it, and several of its teeth are delirium shards. And you can see that around its neck is actually a what looks to be a yoke and a chain. And dashing out onto the balcony with it are two fish folk that are trying to that are one is grabbing the chain with one hand, the other is taking a spear and trying to trying to like corral the creature, this winged creature, and failing to do so. And so they're not the two of them. I'm representing it like as such because they're not on the roof as such. They're in the building, but like they're trying to pull, like some of them are trying to pull. It looks like at least maybe 2 or 3 of them are all trying to grab this chain while another stops it from biting the rest as they're trying to pull the creature back in to the tower. What will you do?
Have they spotted us?
They're way too busy dealing with this thing to have seen you.
Rudy, I say we take the other entrance.
We'll leave this creature to them for now. I'm sure we'll come across it, but yeah, that might be a good idea.
I mean, if we leave it, it might fling a few more of them off the balcony, and the more of them that get flung off, the higher our chances are to succeed.
It's true.
My friends, what if we rescue this creature? This creature looks like it is a captive of these fish folk, and the enemy of our enemy can be our friend.
Well, Wrath, can you get into its mind? Are your powers that specific where you can get into the creature's minds?
I will have to get close, but I can potentially see if it is of intelligence.
Wrath, rule number 86, you almost quoted it verbatim. Sometimes an enemy may be an ally when a greater threat exists. You're on to that.
It seems that your rules are rubbing off on me. I find some of them very keen and observant. Others are annoyingly constraining.
Oh my.
Wrath, right on the nose. Look at you.
Wait, what, Rudy? Anyway,
I mean,
3,
there's such
9,
a insightful rule.
58. Oh my gosh.
58. What is 58? Oh, we'll worry about that later.
So I'm gonna, with the distraction going on, I want to kind of fly down, and I need to be within 30 feet to try to telepathically speak to this creature.
Okay, where do you want to fly to?
Trying to stay as much out of sight as I can.
Okay, so if it's helpful for you to be just a quick refresher on this. So this whole area is the highest.
Yep.
And then the cross part, but you can see how it's two-toned.
Yep.
So so this bit down here is much lower. So if you are flying on like just the complete opposite side, right? Like over here, they just can't see you, right?
Okay.
You can't see them either, obviously, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But if you needed to come within 30 feet of them, you know, you're still going to have to fly up pretty close. And let me just put it this way. If you want to fly where you're currently putting your tokens, there is a 0% chance of you doing that unnoticed.
Okay.
Yeah, like that. This balcony has a total vantage look over this area. Like this area over here you could be almost immediately visible to anybody on that balcony. Same with up over here, right? Like,
could we like fly just like to this?
I was
point?
thinking around the southern area, and then approach from the north, where Wilhelm is now. But we go there the long way, and we travel at approximately 60 feet flying speed. If we dash, we might be able to get there quicker.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like, could we go essentially down below, like around the southern tip, and sort of approach from the north, like where?
Yeah. So if you're saying like you're basically saying like that you would fly, like this, yes, and fly around and then end up over here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But also being conscious, like it's been if I had to estimate how long it's been since we started this flying journey.
5 minutes.
Okay. We've used half of our flight time.
And I mean, depending on how tall, like we could definitely like lower ourselves a bit down underneath their sight and go along the walls, no?
With the way the building is constructed, the kind of this angle, like the angle that you're looking for to do that is like this, right? So anyone that's on this side of the balcony is going to see, and has a good, like there's no, you'd have to fly like basically at the bottom of the tower and then fly back up, like all the way back down, then all the way back up to do that, which you could if you wanted to.
Quickly.
But I would still probably have you make a stealth check if you wanted to do that.
Rudy, Wilhelm, I think this is our decision we must make. We either attempt to kill these fish folk and help and free this restrained creature in hopes that it becomes our friend, although it could just turn on us, or we continue our stealth mission. I vote to kill these fish folk, these awful creatures, and see if we can turn this creature either loose on them for more, or potentially as our friend. What do you suggest? What do you think we must act quickly?
Well, I'll leave it to Rudy because I'm definitely a fan of the stealthy approach, but looks like that puts us at odds, Wrath.
I mean, as much as I'm all for getting all up in their faces, I'm looking at those teeth, those delirium teeth. I don't know if it's going to be on our side. So, you know what? I'm actually going to say the stealth mission is going to be the best. Let's go back over here and take on the charred door.
Agreed.
Okay.
So we abandon our position.
You abandon your position. You fly back down to the other door over here.
Now, my assumption is that with them being preoccupied, they're far less likely to notice us slip in.
They physically cannot see you on this side of the building.
I know, but I just mean in general, there's probably
to
more
roll
of them.
stealth.
No, there's that's not what I meant. There are more of them probably in the building that are probably distracted by a giant winged creature throwing a few of them off.
Okay, so you see here, you land basically on a terrace on the top. There's a very slight sort of balustrade around the outer edge, and getting closer, this thing is a spike. And not only is it not made of stone, it is very visibly made of a strange, almost greenish purple, a metal with a greenish purple sheen to it that is about 75 feet tall and is like a sharpened round spear point on a ball socket that's set on a ball into the ground and then braced against it. As you land down here, you see that the scorch marks along the edge include the fried and overcooked body of a fish folk, huddled up with its limbs touching the door. The door is the door itself is made of the same metal as the spike. And it has in the center of the door, it's otherwise completely unadorned. It just has a iron sphere jutting out of the middle of it. Like almost like an embossed sphere in the middle of the door. And the shape of the door is almost entirely square.
I'm now rethinking about my decision to go in this door, seeing that fried fish boat.
If you think it's a trap, it probably is. And Raph, would you do the honors?
Standing back at the maximum distance of Mage Hand, I'm going to attempt to interact with this knob on the front of the door. As my comrades stand behind me.
I step back.
Definitely.
Okay. You are going to touch the door with Mage Hand.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. A bolt of lightning shoots out from the door in a straight line to the socket receptacle right behind you on the iron spike, filling the entire hallway and hitting all of you. You can all make dexterity saving throws.
God.
Because you all placed yourselves directly in the path of the
14.
17.
15.
Rudy, you fail. Wrath and Wilhelm, you succeed. Oh, that's a lot of ones. Oh, wow, that's 4 ones.
So I roll out of the way. Wrath drops down.
That is going to be the saddest lightning bolt. This is 4 1s, 2 2s, and 2 4s.
Yeah.
So the total is only so the total of that is literally only going to be
The sadness in your voice that you didn't cook us with a lightning bolt.
It's only 16 damage, or 8 for those of you that succeeded.
Or none for those of us who...
So it's a very, very but I do need a concentration check for you, Wrath.
Oh boy. Oh yeah, I get a 20.
Okay.
Uh,
I get zapped and I sort of fly up a little bit. Hair, my hair is standing more on end than ever.
I dodge cleanly out of the way.
My mithril armor happened to be a great conductor for this lightning that was coming my way, and I got jolted a little bit.
I stand up and kind of brush off my shoulders. Should we try that again?
I am going to grab Wilhelm and fly a little bit off to the side and say, go ahead, Wrath!
Friends, I think we should... At least we know what to do when there's a delirium monster. We either trick it or kill it. I do not know how to...
only had 1 charge.
Are we going back? We're here to help the monster. Or do you want to try it again?
I don't know how puzzles work.
You got 3 minutes left on your fly spell.
Okay,
Rule number 17, a failure is a step towards understanding the success.
I'm gonna fly off to the side. How far is the ground below me if I'm flying to the side of it?
Actually, you could stand on the roof and and still reach, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna do the mage hand around the corner and try it again.
The lightning bolt shoots out again, dealing no damage to anybody.
Oh, Bruce is with me.
That would have been way better.
Is he open?
Dealing 30 damage to the air.
But the door doesn't budge.
He touched it with Mage Hand. He touched the door with Mage Hand, pushed against it. It did not budge.
I'm wondering if...
Remember, Mage Hand can only move 20 pounds worth of stuff. So this is an iron door. If it's made of solid iron, a Mage Hand is not going to move it.
You know what? Rudy set me down on the bridge just for how much time do we have, Wrath?
Moments.
Give me 3 of those moments.
Okay.
I'm going to quickly drop down. I'm not going to touch the door, but I want to quickly examine it. I have my thieves' tools out. I'm examining it. Is there any way that I can see to dismantle or disarm the electrical conduit?
The orb that is in place in the middle of the door, there is a small seam that you might be able to get behind there with a file and pull it out. You would really have to get it in there and really pull it out. And if that's the case, there's a chance it's going to go off again.
Now, it shoots out of the orb. Did it look like it filled the whole hallway? Could I lean against the wall?
No.
No, there's no way. No. This looks risky. Pick me back up, Rudy.
There's another
grab you
door.
underneath your arms and say, "All right, guess we're gonna go help this creature."
Plan B.
All right, as you all head back around, roll a d6.
Oh, 2.
2.
1.
Come on, man.
Okay.
Same die too.
As you head back around the corner, you hear another screech and a Wilhelm scream. Ah! What did did you roll a 1?
Joe did.
Joe did?
I'm just
Okay.
on a roll. Here we go.
But in the middle of the scream, there is a cry of victory as one of the fish folk hops up onto the back of the wyvern, takes the chain in both of its hands, and it looks like it has successfully wrangled control of the wyvern. You can all make a perception check to see this and catch yourselves and stop yourselves before you go around the corner.
20.
14.
6.
Okay. So, as you come around the corner, Rudy, because you're taking point, you see this first, and you see the wyvern zoom straight out this way. They're facing in that direction, but as they zoom out, he banks towards the left-hand side and catches sight of you. Roll for initiative.
Rudy, get me on that wyvern.
Okay.
So at this point, we probably have, rough estimate, a minute of flying. Left.
I would say that is accurate.
So 10 rounds? 10. We have 1 minute of flying.
Yep. I am just going to do
none.
In anticipation for changing possibilities. I'm just going to adjust the map for a moment. Please stand by.
I am not flying, so I am useless unless I'm on something. So, Rudy, we're taking a chance.
Yeah, Rudy, you are carrying Wilhelm right now, so be aware of that. Okay.
Carrying a lot of us. Carrying the whole team.
So there's a lot riding on you right now, I guess you could say. Okay. If we do this, yeah, that works better. Okay. This way I actually have an interior that I can show you in case it becomes relevant. Okay. So there we go. Rudy, what did you get for initiative?
4.
4. Okay. Wilhelm?
15.
Okay.
And 13 for Wrath.
Okay. So no one is surprised, but Wilhelm, you are the first to act. What will you do? You are riding. So I kind of imagine like you're piggyback riding on Rudy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I
Yeah.
I
was thinking almost have you like under your arms.
You're going to have to toss me. Can Rudy, that's a long jump, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a very long jump to make without a running start.
All right. Well, then for now, I will just.
Long jump to fall.
I'm going to just fire at it with my crossbow. I'll shoot it down.
Okay.
I get a 10 to hit.
It bounces off its armored hide.
The crossbow does nothing. I shoot again. This time aiming for its weaker underbelly. Getting 22 to hit.
You hit its weaker underbelly. Roll damage.
Any sneak attack on that?
It was befriending it.
You're shooting the creature?
Oh, you know what? No, I'm going to shoot the rider. Sorry. That's way smarter. I shoot the rider.
Okay.
With my second bolt. That makes way more sense. That's definitely more what I wanted to do.
Aim for
I mean, you want to shoot the underbelly, go for it.
Okay, I'm going to allow it. That's fine.
All right, cool. Good. And no sneak attack on that. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No.
That's going to be 8 damage.
Okay. The rider takes the shot and... Ow! The fish folk mumbles out. Okay. With that, we go to Wrath.
I am going to... So does it look like the fish folk has this this thing under control? Like he's got some sort of like... Is it just like a standard mount?
He is riding it like a mount. Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
And he's holding onto it with chains.
Okay. Can I combine my words in my head, my ability to communicate with creatures, and suggestion?
There's a very big reason why you won't want to do that, because suggestion's a concentration spell. And you are currently 700 feet in the air.
I remember this. It's I can hear River saying, Magic 101, you can't concentrate on 2 spells. I go, oh, yep. Thank you, River. So I'm just gonna shoot at the rider.
Cool.
To take
cool.
Take a shot. I get a big old 9.
That is a miss.
Second shot, a 6.
Also a miss.
It's hard to hit a moving target, you know?
Oh wait, sorry. What did I say before 9? It was a 12. A 12 and a 8.
Both misses.
Both misses. Sorry,
I'm afraid,
wrong modifier. But yeah, so I take a couple shots, totally miss, and I'm gonna fly a little bit over the roof structure.
So that you're up on top of the roof?
I'm at least hovering over it a wee bit.
Okay.
Just in case the fly spell ends suddenly.
Okay.
For whatever
we can't see because I blacked it out, but Wrath is there. That's acceptable. You actually have to fly about 60 feet up, but you got the movement to do that. Right? Okay. The Wyvern. The Wyvern howls out, spurned by its rider, and flies toward Wilhelm and Rudy. Wilhelm and Rudy, you can each roll a d6.
I got a 3.
6.
Okay, cool. So, Rudy, because you are carrying Wilhelm on your back, the Wyvern flies in, and as it does so, it spins in to hit you with its stinger while it tries to bite Wilhelm off your back. So Wilhelm, I get, fortunately, and Wilhelm, I'm going to say that because you are not able to properly defend yourself because you're being carried, I'm going to give it advantage on attack rolls against,
why not?
Because like this situation that you're doing is not ideal. So I get a 24 to hit you, Wilhelm.
This was too easy anyway.
And a 24 to hit you, Rudy.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, Wilhelm, you take 11 points of piercing damage. And Rudy, you do as well. And you both need to make Constitution saving throws.
22.
17.
Oh. Okay. So you do not gain a contamination level,
Right.
but you both do take an additional 5 points of necrotic damage.
Ugh.
And with that, the fishfolk rider reaches it in, and he pulls out a net, and he tries to throw it at you.
Classic fish folk. Always always with the nets. Come on.
But it with advantage to hit, I rolled a 1 and a 2.
Oh.
It's time for new dice.
I feel that.
Yeah, okay. So the net just goes, the net hits the wall and just plop falls all the way down. With that, Rudy, it is your turn.
Okay, so tell me if this is gonna work. What I imagine, Wilhelm's on my back. I want to, since they're so close, I want to grab the rider and twist and drop Wilhelm on the wyvern while grabbing the rider.
Doing both those things at the same time is not possible.
No? Okay.
No. Not. If you want to do both those things at the same time,
Yep.
a failed ability check will result in you immediately dropping Wilhelm.
Okay.
This is Rudy going like, can he survive a 700 foot fall?
You worry about you. I'll figure out a way.
You know what? I'm gonna can I shove, or do I have to grapple if I want to get the rider off?
I'm actually gonna, you know what, Rudy, I'm gonna say, well, you have Wilhelm on your back. If you do any attacks, there is a chance you'll drop him.
All right. Wilhelm! I take him off and I get him close. I want to put him on the wyvern.
Okay. If you help him, Wilhelm, you can make an acrobatics check with advantage.
That'll be a 24.
Okay. I get a 12 in my opposed check. So, Wilhelm, you have grabbed onto the wyvern. So you are effectively grabbing on onto it. And Rudy, you are now in the air.
In the air. And then, so that was my action.
Correct.
I'm going to second wind to get a few hit points back as my bonus action. Or, 17. 17 healing!
Nice.
Yeah, that's
Oh, here, I'll update my character.
Oh yeah, me too.
We go to the top of the round. Wilhelm, you are now on the back. We can move your token as well. You are now on the back of this creature.
I'm going to... So I plop in behind the rider, and I'm going to drive my rapier into his... Like, I grab his head and pierce the rapier through his back.
All right. That works for me.
So... 26 to hit. And, 11 damage on the rider.
Whew. With that, the rider, you have sneak attack on this.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
for
far more than that.
Yeah, because Rudy's close enough now that you can sneak attack.
Okay, so then it's we're gonna add 18 more damage to that. So that's what did I say before?
11, 29.
29 damage.
Yeah, you knife this guy and throw him off the creature.
And
Yeah.
I grab the reins.
Okay. Give me a animal handling or athletics check.
Animal handling or athletics. I'll take my +0 instead of my -1. Getting a 14.
Alrighty. This is enough to slightly calm the creature, as you and like stay on its back for a moment, but not to control it.
Fair enough.
So what you're able to kind of do is it's resisting you on there, but you're able to take the reins, take the chains, and kind of position yourself on it, that if it tries to buck you off, it's going to have a really hard time doing it.
I wrap the chains and reins around me. I get my feet like dug in there. Like I'm securing myself on this thing's back.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeehaw.
Okay. For some reason. There we go. Okay. Perfect. With that, we go to Wrath.
Just kind of surveying. So one fish folk falling to its death from Wilhelm. The other ones that were earlier, like where the doorway. What does the doorway look like right now?
Looking down, the two fish folk you can't quite see the doorway from where you are, but you can see the bridge, and there are two fish folk that have pulled out longbows.
Okay, I'm kind of hovering over the rooftop, probably at least a few feet.
Right there, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm gonna take a couple shots at the guy, the closest one first, with an Eldritch Blast.
Cool.
That one I crit. So we're back.
Nice.
Doing 20 damage.
You blow him to smithereens, and it's not clear when the repelling blast sends him over the balcony whether he was killed by the blast or he did die when he hit the ground.
That's how I like it. A little bit of a mystery.
Nice.
I'm going to take my second shot. And just because I wanted to, I rolled a 1. And I just wanted to get that balance. Balance of the cosmos.
Balance
so the
of
other
all
one
things.
goes right into the same corpse as it's flying off. I didn't realize I hit the same one.
All right. So the wyvern, Wilhelm, with you on its back, the wyvern screeches, flies this way.
Uh-oh.
Pulling Wilhelm along with it. And it dives down in the process, spinning around. Wilhelm, give me a you can give me an acrobatics check.
Sorry.
21.
Well,
You stay in place, but the wyvern it can't get around to bite you, but it can get you with its tail.
It
Getting
can
a-
try.
It gets a 15 to hit.
That misses. I actually like pull my rapier out and like smash the delirium thing away. And I like lean in close and I go, "That's no way to treat your rider. We're best friends now."
Alrighty. The fish folk, this last surviving fish folk runs into the building screaming at the top of his lungs.
they might know we're here.
I'm preoccupied.
Rudy, it is your turn.
How far can we fly? 60?
60.
Okay. I am going to make my way, fly over to the balcony, I guess. Can I see through the door?
Yes, you can actually see through both doors.
What do I see?
Okay, what do you see?
So Wilhelm's just like gone.
I'm just like,
You just see me like, ah!
in a dive bomb on a wyvern.
I just yell over to him like, when you have a moment, and you get control of that their partner, bring him on over.
I will tame this beast.
I just
Screech!
I want to yell some fish folk commands to Wilhelm. Gurgle! Gurgle, gurgle!
Okay, so Rudy, both the doors on this platform are open. As before, the doors here, it looks like these doors have slid to the sides and revealed a roughly square, 10-foot wide, almost 10-foot wide opening in between the two towers. Looking down to the east side, you see a long hall that ends in a spiral staircase that descends downward. The stonework is of quite similar construction to the stonework that you saw in the previous elven ruins. There is some cracked and faded bas-relief decoration throughout, and the chamber is supported by 4 pillars. The inside is covered in ash and dust, but also perhaps the nests of several birds that were here at some point, and the refuse and remains of the wyvern's last meal. Because you can see that one of the pillars has this iron buckle that's been attached to it with the chain where the chain is snapped, and the fish folk in this room are gathering together. There are 6 of them in front of you that you can see. They also have a bunch of extra climbing equipment around here as well. Behind you, you can see that the room goes down a short hallway that opens up into what might be a circular chamber with another spiral staircase going down in it. And there are 4 fish folk there. All of them now brandish their nets, spears, and weapons. And you hear one of them say, "We're under attack! Go tell the cardinal that there's an intruder!" One of them says.
And I'm about to walk in. I say, "Wrath Wilhelm, the cardinal's here. I'm gonna take care of these guys." And I run in with my I fly in with my last bit of flying.
Okay.
Ready? And I just start swiping as I'm coming in.
All right. Here we go again.
So Houdini helps me to the one just to the north. Getting 26 to hit.
That is a hit.
8 damage.
Okay.
Same guy if he's not done. 12 to hit.
With this one, that is a miss, I'm afraid.
Okay, and then
they're all carrying shields.
The extra last one, 15 to hit.
Also a hit.
Nice.
And that is 7 damage.
Alrighty, with the 2 attacks, the fish folk is still standing actually after both those wounds.
Uh-oh.
I think that's it.
Alrighty. With that, we're back actually to the top of the round with Wilhelm.
Everything I learned about horses, I'm going to apply to this moment. Wilhelm, wrapped in the chains, fending off this thing's tail. I like reach out and I'm gonna place a hand on the creature's head, and I try, or like on its like neck or whatever, and I'm trying to like soothe it and calm it down. I'm gonna try as best I can to like gain control of this creature.
Okay, you can either give me an animal handling or an athletics check.
Got a 14.
A 14?
Yeah.
You're calming it down. You're making progress, but it's going to take a little bit more than that to get this creature under your control.
With that, though, am I able to like kind of sort of get it to somewhat turn back towards like not like I know I don't have control of it, but like can I kind of make it like
Sure, here's your choice. You can you have three options here.
Okay.
You can direct the direction of its flight by throwing your entire body into trying to force it to go. If you do this, you will have disadvantage on your check to remain on the creature, but you will be able to direct which direction it goes. Or you can focus entirely on trying to keep it under control, like keep yourself safe and take advantage on your next on any checks that it has to knock you off.
Was there a third option? You said 3, or with just the 2?
Or your third option would be you can accept neither advantage or disadvantage on staying on, but accept advantage on trying to control it next round.
I'm gonna go with option 3. I'm gonna focus on calming this thing. I'm gonna Wilhelm is soothing it. He's like, they're spiraling, but Wilhelm doesn't lose focus. He's like whispering in this thing's ear, telling it it's gonna be okay. Like, we've got this.
Okay.
Buddy. We've got this.
Alrighty. Wrath, it is your turn.
I'm gonna yell to Wilhelm, feed it something, and then I've worked with a lot of creatures that are from weird places, and food seems to be like that great destroyer of barriers. So give it something to eat, like your foot, and then I'm gonna send Bruce dashing after Wilhelm. He's gonna try to catch up to him, and I'm going to land on this pillar. On the bridge.
On the bridge? Okay. What would you like to do with your action?
I'm going to throw out 5, 10, 15, 20. I'm going to throw out a hypnotic pattern, and I want to try to get these 4 creatures kind of in that back corner. So the ones that are not immediately engaged with Rudy and...
Okay, the 4. Yep. So you're kind of going to angle it.
Yeah, I kind of put it in the back corner, so I want to get the 4 of them. So I'm going to throw out a hypnotic pattern.
Saving throw DC?
16.
I fail all my saves. Your fly spell has ended.
And so me and Rudy are here, and good luck.
and so here you shall stay.
Good luck, Will.
In the background doing loop-de-loops.
Yeah.
And Bruce is still giving chase.
All right, Wilhelm. The wyvern. I'm gonna roll a d8 to decide which direction it flies. Okay, so it is going to go. The wyvern banks sharply back upwards and tries flying upside down with you on it. And it curves back around, flying back over here. And it tries to fight you off. Give me an acrobatics check.
Just flying back and forth. An acrobatics check. Here we go.
Yep.
That is going to be a 16.
Alrighty.
I'm going to use the luck point.
Okay, go for it.
Oh, that's better. Okay, that's going to be a 20.
Something in the 20s. Something in the 20s, please.
Yeah, a 30. It's going to be a 30.
Whoa!
I'm glad you're lucky because it got an 18 on the dice plus its +4 strength mod.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You are a lucky fellow, sir. Nevertheless, it does attack with its tail stinger, getting a 25 to hit.
Ah, nuts.
So you are hit with the tail stinger. You take 11 points of piercing damage from the stinger.
I take 5.
Okay, and give me a Constitution saving throw.
Yes, sir. Do you accept a 4?
No, you take an additional 12 points of necrotic damage, and you gain 1 level of contamination.
No, I don't. Aqua Expergo.
Awesome. Okay, in that case, if you're Aqua Expurgoing, you do not take that necrotic damage.
Oh, good.
Oh my gosh.
That is wonderful news. All right, and I have 2 Aqua Expurgo saves left. Good.
Awesome. Well, I hope you're having fun out there, sir.
I am having a great time. I think that this is the coolest thing Wilhelm's ever done, even if it is hurting a bit and terrifying.
Cool.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, in light of that, several fish folk come charging out, dashing forward.
Uh-oh.
Some of them.
There's more. Rudy.
Yeah, there's 4 of them in there. I forgot to tell you there's 4 of them over there.
So Rudy, you get attacked twice. I get a 22 and a 7 to hit.
Shield.
Okay. And Wrath, you get attacked. 2 of them had to dash to get up here. So one attacks you, getting a total of 21 to hit. Mm-hmm. Another throws a javelin at you, getting a natural 1. So I think I get 1.
Absolutely hits.
It's going to be 7 damage. Give me a concentration check for that good old hippo pattern.
They still feel me now. It's 22. Oh my god.
Alrighty. The hypnotic pattern stays in place. All right. Rudy, it's your turn.
All right, I'm still going ham on this guy to the north using Houdini's help. Wow, Houdini didn't help at all. 12, which misses.
Yeah, it blocks it with his shield.
Again. Oh, that's better. 26.
It's a hit.
7 damage.
And that is a slain fish folk. Don't forget you get temporary hit points when you kill stuff with your axe.
Yeah.
Okay, 2d6, so 5 temporary hit points. Okay. Yes!
Got one more attack in the tank there.
One more attack. Oh. 10.
Though you cut down its friend, and its others are slobbering messes. They're usually slobbering messes, so it doesn't quite realize that they're just slobbering, not doing anything, and it blocks your attack.
They're so slippery. My axes are just bouncing off their slippery skin. I'll get them.
Wilhelm, it is your turn. You have advantage on your roll to control.
I reach into my pocket and I pull out one of our rations and I toss it in front of the creature, which is, in my imagination, my advantage. So I throw some food in front of it, and I'm going to try to, once again, calm this thing down and gain control, getting an 18.
Alrighty. After several attempts, it calms down, and you are controlling the wyvern.
Can I still move now?
So it now acts on your turn, and you fly it. So yeah, you can fly it now.
All right. Once I've calmed this thing down, I'm like, I'm gonna name you Bitey, and I'm like, all right, Bitey, let's go. And
Stingy.
Okay. Well, you know, it's Bitey and Stingy.
Sorry.
The tail's name is Stingy.
I don't want to take away. No, sorry.
So I grab the reins and I whip them into shape and I turn the thing around, and with a battle cry, Wilhelm rushes towards the bridge, ready to pluck these fish folk off of the bridge that are fighting Wrath. And so I move it as far towards Wrath as I can go. How far? What's the wyvern's?
80 feet.
All right, so the wyvern goes, and it's going to attack those fish folk.
Now that you've pacified it, the only actions it will take are dash, disengage, or dodge.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, either way, I ride up, and I guess it took my action to calm the thing down. So,
yeah.
That is going to be it for me. I fly up.
Nice.
I roar back into the battle.
Wow.
Riding a wyvern.
That is the coolest thing.
Right.
I saw you
Wrath-
plummeting to your death moments ago on the back of and then you ride back in.
Yes,
Yes.
I hope he's gonna be okay. And you just see him like barreling around, and then all of a sudden he just grabs the thing and manages to get this delirium fueled mad beast flying back up under his control.
So good.
That's amazing.
I'm happy I can quit D&D now.
Wrath, it is your turn.
Okay, Bruce, still chasing Wilhelm and the Wyvern, finally catches up, and he's gonna help me try to shoot this one that is is standing in front of me. The one that took the swipe at me. So I get a 13 to hit.
That is exactly what you needed.
For 7 damage.
That's not enough to kill it, though.
And I want to use my repelling blast to send it 10 feet backwards.
It gets knocked back into its friend, and I'm just gonna say that it kind of ends up stopping there because it hits the wall.
And so I used Bruce to help me at least negate the disadvantage, but now I'm going to take a shot at this one with disadvantage.
Okay.
I get an 11.
It's a miss. He blocks it with the shield.
And I panic. And I stand my ground now that my wyvern friend.
The fish folks see the wyvern, and immediately this one comes moving back towards you, Wrath. This one comes here, and this one is going to move up to here and here. So, 3 of them are going to attack Wrath, and one is going to try to poke Wilhelm. I get a 17 against Wilhelm.
Damn.
Does that hit?
Yeah.
Okay. And against you, Wrath, I get a 22, a 13, and a 13.
They all hit.
So, Wrath, you are going to take a grand total of 14 points of damage from the attacks of the fish folk. And Wilhelm, you are going to take 8 points from the piercing attacks as they stab you with their spears.
You mean 4. Ha!
So
You get the
3
one guy you're immune to.
concentration checks.
Correct.
My first one was a 7.
All right. So your concentration is broken.
Uh-oh. I forgot.
So they'll all be waking up next turn. And the one that attacks Rudy only gets a 7. Alrighty, so hypnotic pattern is donezo.
They wake from their
Alrighty. That's bad news.
That's really bad.
Yeah. Well, in any case, though, it is Rudy's turn.
Okay. I'm still gonna go. Adam. Guy, actually, I'm gonna shift. Oops. There we go. I'm gonna shift over here and hit this guy. Oh, crit! Yes!
There we go.
Okay, what is that? Maths. 20 damage.
That basically splits his face open.
Yes. All right, and then you know what?
The friends wake up. They kind of start rubbing their fishy eyes, and they see just splash.
So I'll move over here, and then go in for that guy, which is 25 to hit.
It's a hit.
For 7 damage.
Okay.
And then one more. At 12, let's say 20 to hit.
A hit.
9 damage.
Alrighty. Still standing, however.
They're tough.
Yep. They are indeed. Back to the top with Wilhelm. Wilhelm, you are atop a wyvern.
I swoop in from behind Wrath and I'm going to use my own attacks, but for the sake of flavor text, I want to pretend that this is the wyvern plucking the guys off the bridge, if I manage to kill one or anything of that sort.
Yeah.
So, like, for the sake of mechanics, I'm using my rapier against the one next to Wrath.
Yep.
I just like flavor texting and making it epic.
Nice.
So that's going to be... Oh, yeah, that's 26 to hit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And because Wrath is next to them, sneak attack.
Indeed.
All right, so that's going to be... 22... 27 damage.
You create an opening by like, yeah, I kind of imagine like you direct the wyvern and it flies up and just knock this guy just in the right way by attacking it, that it just sends it flying off the bridge.
Yeah. And then after the wyvern knocks that guy right off the bridge, I pull out my crossbow and I point it at the one right in front of Wrath.
This one?
Or the one south, or to the a little bit
one
beside me.
Okay, go for it. Take the shot.
And yeah, I'm gonna. Well, that dice is on the floor. Oh, I crit.
Kyle will have to bleep that one out.
I haven't crit in, I don't know, years. I got really excited there. Sorry, everybody. Okay, but that's without sneak attack.
Yeah, sorry,
Fine,
bud.
it's fine. It's good damage.
Okay. So we're looking at 17 damage.
That slays him.
Woo!
I don't know where my other dice went. It's gone forever. Nice.
Well done.
I love this. This is great. I'm having a good time, guys.
Nice. Wrath, we're over to you, bud.
I'm gonna try to take a shot at the one right in front of me with Bruce's help, or the one that I'm engaged with.
Yep.
I get a 15.
It's a hit. It's good.
Okay. For a grand total of 6 damage. Ugh.
Do you want to try to knock him off the bridge?
Oh yeah. Can I go sideways?
Yeah, I get a 6 on my saving throw. So you could actually just step like that and kind of...
Oh, I can step into it and launch him?
Yeah.
I love it. And then I want to do the same. Can I attempt to do the same again if I move around this other dude?
No, there's not really an angle for him, but I won't give you a disadvantage because you could have shot him first and then step forward. You know what I mean?
Ooh, okay. I love it. Big money. Don't fail me. Okay, yeah. 18 to hit.
It's a hit.
For 13 damage.
This one was actually already damaged by you before. So it's the one you knocked back into the wall. So he's dead.
Yes. So I hurl his body forward, panting. I turn my attention to the ones around Rudy. I'm just going to take a few steps just so I'm like not on the edge of the balcony, and because also there's a wyvern face breathing in my there.
Alrighty. 2 of the fish folk break, and seeing this, they run for the stairs. And they are going to dash down the stairs. The other 2, and you hear them say, "Hold them off! We'll warn the others!" And these 2, they make their final attacks against Rudy, actually getting a 22 and a 19 to hit on you, Rudy.
Shield!
Okay. And it is your turn, Rudy.
Or 4.
Yep.
All right. Gonna take a swing at the north one. Who do you need to get over here? Ooh, 17 to hit.
A hit.
Ooh. 12 damage.
They're cut down. And the last one, just give me a hit and we'll wrap it up for the night.
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
Alrighty. With that, you cut down the last of the fish folk. The hall goes silent as Wilhelm, I guess you land the wyvern.
I dismount and I'm like petting it now, and I give it another snack from my rack.
It takes the snack in a way that shows a casual disregard for whether or not it took your hand with the snack.
I accept that. I know that we have a loose bond right now. It's very loose, but it's working.
Mm-hmm.
It lands on the way, marches forward into the room, sees the body of the fish folk, lays down and starts eating the fish folk corpses.
As it should.
It just kind of like sniffs at you approvingly, like, food. I can deal with this.
You're welcome, Sir Wyvern. Enjoy that snack.
Just grunts back at you. Just that kind of like, yeah. As it continues to meal, in the kind of way of like, this is mine now, and if you try to take it from me, we're gonna have issues.
Totally respect that.
Yep.
Like, you know how like when you give a dog like a really juicy piece of meat, and now that friendly dog that you thought you knew is gone and replaced by something far more awful. Yeah, that.
Nice.
I still have a connection. That's the important part.
And with that is where we will end things for tonight. It feels so good to be back.
Woo!
That was
Leaving
fun.
on a cliffhanger too.
Oh man.
Slightly literally.
Oh my god. Thought you were gonna die, Wilhelm.
Oh no, I knew what I was doing.
I did not know how that was gonna go. I was like, what's gonna happen?
Listen, I had 3 luck points. I had very little animal handling skill, but I had faith that luck would see to it. I was going to blow all my luck points if I had to get control, because gaining control of a wyvern is just I don't know, when you see an opportunity to do that in D&D, you take it.
Yeah.
Rudy knew you would spread your wings and fly.
Yeah.
Well, with that, a massive thank you as always to have the whole gang back together. Jill, Kelly, and Joe, wonderful play from you all tonight.
And a huge thank you to Kyle for all of the work that he does behind the scenes, and also to Monty, our dungeon master, for running another phenomenal game, getting back in the saddle and back into Shadows of Drakkenheim. I'm so excited, and this was a great launch point for the new chapter.
Indeed. Joe, what do you got for us?
Well, in our game tonight, as you can see, we use a variety of incredible assets produced by talented artists. They have graciously given us permission to use these assets in our games and our stream games, and you can use them at your table too. And we encourage you to check out and support these amazing creators. Well, we have the Roll20 virtual tabletop that you watch every day. We actually have a lot of custom maps created by Monty himself using Dungeon Draft and Wonder Draft based on cartography by Dyson Logos, player character artwork by Jeremy Cole, NPC token artwork by Matthias Bourbon, monster token artwork from the D&D 5e Monster Manual, and other source books, spell effects tokens by Gabriel Picard, and music by Tabletop Audio. So please thank you and use them in your own games too.
Of course, don't forget to look at the links below for our Teespring store, where you can find all of your favorite Dungeon Dudes t-shirts, including the Dusk Wardens, yes, and way bigger than ducks. Check out bit.ly/Dungeon Dudes merch.
Our videos and live streams are made possible thanks to the incredible generosity of a truly amazing Patreon community. If you enjoy the work that we create, please consider becoming a patron of our show by following the links in the description below or at patreon.com/dungeon_dudes.
We also have a phenomenal Discord community that is exclusive for our patrons, where you can discuss anything Dungeons and Dragons. You can discuss the upcoming Kickstarter that we are working on. You can join in on our monthly writers' rooms, where we give looks at upcoming scripts or things that we're working on. You can also submit questions for our monthly Q&As, where we answer Patreon submitted questions. So join us on our Patreon and join us on our Discord, and come hang out and talk about Drakkenheim and all sorts of other nerdy things.
Kelly and I post new videos every Thursday on our YouTube channel where we cover everything D&D, including advice for players and guides for dungeon masters. We're almost through all the core classes in D&D 5e. Yeah. We did part 1 of the wizard tier list today. And part 2 comes out. We're done with all the PHB, and we just have to do all the extra stuff and all the extras from that point.
Artificer.
Yeah, I know, but it's not in the PHB, so we can say that we did all of the classes in the player's handbook.
Cool,
which is an accomplishment.
It is. It's been a long road. So
check us out at youtube.com/dungeondudes.
And be sure to join us live next Tuesday when we record the campaign live on Twitch. You can check us out from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Time at twitch.tv/dungeon_dudes. You can also watch the video episodes of the show on YouTube as well.
And finally, if you love Drakkenheim and have found inspiration in watching our campaigns, either Dungeons of Drakkenheim, Untold Tales, or Shadows of Drakkenheim, you will be happy to know that Kelly and I are putting together the whole campaign as a hardcover book, which is coming to Kickstarter this June. We are partnering with Ghostfire Games to bring Dungeons of Drakkenheim to life, which will be your way that you can take. If you saw all the decisions that we made in season 1 and were like, I would have liked to have done that differently, you can decide the fate of Drakkenheim yourself with your own player characters, and in this amazing campaign that we are working on for fully compatible with 5th edition. So head to Drakkenheim.com, sign up for the mailing list, and we will see you in June for that amazing Kickstarter. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next week back in the Shadows of Drakkenheim.